Well, good morning. Today's our second day in the book of Galatians. In Galatians, as you study the book, you're going to find that there was a huge problem. It's identified right here in Galatians 2, verse 6. Paul says, he said, "I'm astonished that you are so quickly deserting him who called you in the grace of Christ and are turning to a different gospel. Not that there is another one, but there are some who trouble you and want to distort the gospel of Christ." As you look around the world today, there are always people who want to distort the gospel of Christ. In Paul's day, there were many who were saying that the gospel was not really about something God had done. The gospel is about something that you and I do. Now, when you and I begin to do that, when we begin to add to the scriptures, we begin to lose what the gospel is all about. Remember that the word gospel, it really means good news. That the gospel is an announcement that God has done something to reconcile us or to rescue us out of our sin. In other words, God has sent Jesus Christ to die and be raised on our behalf. The gospel is an announcement. The gospel is not about something that you and I do. The gospel is about something that Christ has done. Let me read these verses to you. This is in 1 Corinthians 15. 1 Corinthians 15 verse 3 concerning the gospel. Paul says, "For I delivered to you as of first importance of what I first received, that Christ died for our sins in accordance with the Scriptures, that he was buried and he was raised on the third day in accordance with the Scriptures, that he appeared before Peter under the 12 in accordance with the Scriptures." The gospel is an announcement that Christ has died on our behalf. You remember when we were in the book of Genesis, that Adam and Eve, as a result of their sins, they died. And there was no hope for them outside of God doing something else. But in Genesis 3:15, God said, listen, I'm going to send Jesus and he's going to crush the head of Satan. What was going on in the book of Galatians is they were making the gospel about something that we do. They were saying, well, what you need to do to be saved is you need to be circumcised. Or what you need to do to be saved is you need to keep the law. Don't allow yourself to get confused with those types of things, that what must I do to be saved? But the question is, what has God done to save me? The gospel is about Jesus Christ, that although you came into this world dead in your trespasses and sins and completely separated from God with nothing in and of yourself that you could do to save yourself, God sent Christ to save you. And it's through faith in what Christ has done that we are saved. Remember, salvation is not about what you've done or what you do. Salvation is about what God has done through Christ for you.